After being in hiding for several days, a guy who's facing hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential civil lawsuit losses, a guy who is apparently facing a complete disaster that has not been seen since Germany in 1945, the dude is here to defend himself. And in front of thousands of people, how does he hold up to these allegations that are almost certainly true?
For the juicy stuff, this is what I will say. I'm glad that I've inspired so many people to go the litigation route. However, unfortunately, that severely restricts what would be wise for me or what I am capable of saying publicly about anything. I do look forward to the continuation of and ideally the resolution of that process, hopefully sooner rather than later.
Oof. Okay, so he's already blinking off in one eye. I think his left eye. He kind of like just slightly twitches here, which is very disconcerting when you pay
The
attention to this.
resolution of that process,
Right over here.
hopefully sooner rather.
Why does he blink? Why does he blink? Like, hopefully this gets rectified. Seems like you do not want it rectified, and I understand why.
I think my two legal teams now are probably going to hate me for saying anything at all.
So two legal teams. Now you might ask yourself, why does a guy who is not O.J. Simpson, he is not like a millionaire's millionaire, right? Like obviously money is a very finite thing. You're talking about Florida lawyers, probably not the cheapest thing in the world. We're talking about retainers upwards of tens of thousands of dollars for each circumstance, okay? And so this guy's saying that he has two separate legal teams, which is again interesting. Does he mean one lawyer and like three paralegals? Is he talking about a lawyer and a secretary and a shoe closet? Are we talking about five different distinct lawyers? Again, the money really scales up very quickly, and you don't want to be on his end of things. Now, when it comes down to it, my theory might be that he has one legal team. If he's not bluffing and he's not lying about this, he could have one team on the civil lawsuit that's mostly by, I believe, the streamer Pixie, who was in his orbit, who, of course, is a victim of the dissemination of sensitive videos and whatnot. And apparently, this civil lawsuit has a lot of standing when you look at the statutes in Florida, insofar as you look at digital voyeurism and whatnot. But then also when you look at other things. So, for instance, you look at Sherry, one of the many people that are accusing Destiny of revenge, whatever. And also, that's a criminal sort of report that she tried to do recently. And so maybe he has two separate teams, again, addressing one each. So, again, when you're fighting a war on both fronts, you're going to look like an Austrian painter very soon. And if that's the case, then you're going to be in a bunker of sorts. And in fact, he apparently in this stream says that he swapped rooms and studios for whatever reason, kind of like hiding in the Hitler bunker. But anyway. Also, okay, so this is a very, very suspicious thing he's about to say here. Also, peep the still frame I just picked here. I'm very good at this. Look at Destiny's jaw. Okay, whose jaw moves like this? Okay, talking from the side of his mouth, kind of like Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight. Okay, Toothface. That's basically what we're looking at here. Now, Destiny's defense includes that he's on Vyvanse, and so therefore his erectile functions are not as good as they otherwise would be. Therefore, he cannot be a predator, which I think is actually pretty stupid. Okay, and I mean, come on, this guy's racing off of accelerants here and stimulants. Very disconcerting. Again, he talks side to side.
Of your desire to simp for me or shit on me or simp for anybody else or whatever. Obviously, taking any things or sharing any things non-consensually is never good. Don't ever do that. Don't defend that. Don't be that guy.
Buddy. Okay, okay. So this implies one thing and one thing only. If he's saying, do not do the thing I'm literally accused of, that means that you're implying that you're innocent or you're just a hypocrite, right? Of course. So, I mean, at this point, he's denying disseminating things without consent. Now, this is literally what he did. I mean, there are actual screenshots where he sends this sort of material about himself and this girl, Pixie, to a 19-year-old girl on Discord that he was trying to hook up with or something. Now, this just seems like a total L for Destiny. I don't know why the hell he would say that.
One thing that sucks, I don't know if this should be considered signal to noise, but when I'm speaking to my community or my fan base, there's like a lot of other people that are out there and who are not looking for anything good whatsoever. Don't mind fuck yourself paying attention to the haters that we're always going to hate no matter what. There are people out there who are like fucking frothing at the mouth to bring on highly questionable people who've said stupid shit in the past and who continue to say stupid shit, who
Kind of convenient, when people say that this is some sort of a sex cult, DGG, whatever stupid name they want to call it themselves, the Destiny Orbiter, this whole universe, okay? He's saying, okay, well, you know what, actually? Do not believe the haters. Do not believe these people that were frothing at the mouth to see my downfall. And while that might seem like, okay, he might be right about that, the truth is that that's still an extraordinarily very basic sort of like cult, like, do not listen to everybody saying that I'm crazy. It's everybody else that's wrong, not me. And honestly, if you're falling for it still, you're an idiot. And so those are a bunch of marks. Now, moving on. he is again deploying such it's a very basic level of manipulation, saying the people that didn't like me to begin with, there's no way they're right, which is ridiculous. I mean, by that logic, a person that doesn't like someone else cannot testify against them in court, right? I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
Now all of a sudden these people have like keen insight, and they absolutely do not. I will say that over the past year, like 2024, I've kind of like distanced myself from like a lot of these communities, and now 2025, obviously we've had the master distancing for
So think about this. Now, if you weren't keen on what he was implying there, he's recently, and really, he's trying to portray this as a bridge burning on his end, but it's really like the other side of the bridge setting on fire because he has been basically removed from the orbit insofar as Eurydites concerned, or other people that are, obviously, like I remember people that were close with him for years, but a lot of people are jumping ship from the DGG sphere, and I think it's for good reason. Obviously, there's no real defense as to Destiny's conduct, but then beside it, people like Eurydice, who has always been somebody who is really much acquiescent to whatever Destiny wants her to do, and defends him and sweeps up for him at all times. You would have thought her name was Consuela, really like a housekeeper for Destiny. She even, by the way, if you didn't know this, was trying to arbitrate a payoff for Pixie and other accusers, specifically her though, to basically have her not accuse Destiny of what he exactly did, as far as I know. And so she was really like the dollar store Ghislaine Maxwell for Destiny. Anyway, the point being is that even she is jumping ship from Destiny, and so when Tiny over here pokes at this whole topic, of course not delving into the full detail because it'd be completely remanded by everybody watching him because it's very obvious he's in the wrong here. But anyway, he is again implying, do not listen to these people that were with me for years and were even defending me against these allegations up until like days ago because I'm so damn guilty. Do not listen to them. And again, it's a very, very manipulative thing, and I think that very few people will actually fall for this. And also, again, he's trying to pretend like it's him that's banning these people from the Destiny orbit, and I don't really think that's the case. I feel like people like Eurydice were defending Destiny on the basis, and again, this is very facetious for her to say it, but she said that basically, if he felt a sort of repentance and a sense of contrition over this whole leaking of the nudes and whatnot, that for whatever reason she would like still be associated with Destiny. But very shortly, you'll see that actually the Bridges podcast is destroyed. In fact, that whole collaborative effort between Kyla and Destiny principally I mean, it's not going to really work out because he's going to end it basically. And then beside it, I mean, again, he has shown no remorse. He hasn't admitted to anything on purpose, even though stupidly he probably has beat around the bush in a way that you can tell that, yeah, he did leak a lot of stuff. But beside it, he's like trying to say that somebody hacked his account, and then so then therefore his like secret recordings are okay or something like this. And so he's not feeling bad at all. He's still this rotten person who gets off on secretly recording, and not even that. Okay, it'd be one thing if you just kept it for yourself in your own mind in your own vault, but it's him recording secretly, but then also purportedly sending it to other people to then get off on that. I mean, it's a violation of boundaries for a guy who's so pro consent, affirmative consent. It's again very, very embarrassing to be found at this place, but that he still has no sense of shame here. Let's keep going.
for a ton of people. So hopefully we continue to move in that direction. Or not actually, no, we don't move in that direction anymore. That's done. Now we're like hardcore fucking separated. Can you blacklist some of these people? Yeah, there's a lot of these people I'm probably just never talking to ever again. I did say, I want to write up a list of all the people, actually, hold on. Because there were some people that messaged me to like figure out like what was actually going on before they kind of decided to do all this like crazy public stuff about it. I just want to read off a list of those people. Hold on.
Okay, so what he's saying here, and again, he's such an idiot. I mean, this is like really me cross-examining him as a potential law student because realistically, the guy's saying, "Oh, I had messages with these people where they were asking like, hey, like, what the hell's going on here? As in like, hey, I'm a good friend. Like, okay, these are really bad allegations. Can you dissuade me from jumping ship because the mutiny's happening, whether you like it or not, Destiny?" And he says, "Oh, whatever," and he just does not convince him of whatever narrative he wants, which I think is that, oh, I was hacked. Oh, I didn't do this. Oh my god. But okay, so he did not pull that off, even though again, Destiny's supposed to be like this very smart guy, and I don't really think that to be the case, as evidenced by the fact that he got caught doing something so stupid, like sharing stuff. And so anyway, I mean, come on.
Okay. Yeah, and that's all of them. That was a little bit shocking as well, but okay. What do you want? That's basically that's truly a lot of vulture culture streams tonight. A lot of cloud hungry people that wanted to spend 12 hours reacting to this are going to be very disappointed, and I'm sure they'll have their own conspiratorial reasons for why I'm saying what I am saying. I do think it is kind of funny how crazy the conspiracies spin around me, but yeah, I think that's about That's about all I can say. Yeah.
Oof, oof. L defense, by the way. And again, also, can somebody in the comment section count how many seconds he actually stared at the camera for? Like actual eye contact saying like, okay, I'm not guilty. These people are thirsting over my clout. They're trying to ankle bite me. But he says all this sort of thing and obfuscates from the truth and looks away, is pounding on his keyboard, is railing another line of Vyvanse, or God knows what the hell he's doing. And it seems like he just could not defend it for a second here. I mean, come on, what the hell?
But the media projects, are they canceled essentially? I think I'm shutting down Bridges, but I think
Cope sip, okay.
I'm not shutting it down, but selling it basically. Fuck, I don't want to. I'm not trying to sound mean or anything. A lot of stuff is working really well with that, but now basically I just have that studio downstairs to shoot, I guess, what I want. So what happens to the studio? I mean, I'll still be using it.
Okay, so I'm canceling this project. It's working pretty well, but I'm just not gonna do it. Okay, why? And it's pretty obvious. His co-host Kyla, not so erudite. We love Kyla, very attractive, but again, very much an idiot because she jumped ship a little too late, but still she jumped ship in the first place. So now she's walking the plank, and this Captain Destiny is not very happy with the mutiny in Destiny's Sphere because again, he is canceling the show, which was her lifeline, I suppose. I think she moved from Canada to the U.S. and I think Miami in specific, just for mainly this purpose. And to see this happen to her is again very funny to me, but still very much very blatant cult-like maneuver. Oh, you don't want to defend me over very, very obviously guilty acts that I've committed? Okay, well then, therefore, you're out of here. Your show's cut off. And, this is just very much, oh my God, this is just so funny to me. Now, to really wrap up the video here, let's look over some little tidbits that I just saved over the past day, just to kind of cement my whole logic behind being completely against Destiny and feeling no remorse or empathy for him at all. We are hoping for nothing but the worst for Destiny, and I'm only saying that to the extent that he's done bad things, which is actually a pretty large extent. So, for instance, here, this headline says Trump says he's conditioning aid to California following LA wildfires, and Destiny says Luigi went after the wrong CEO. So implying like Luigi Maggione, who killed the United Healthcare CEO, should have actually went after Donald Trump, which is actually pretty disgusting to say here. And again, shows a lack of, basic empathy, but then also contrition, any sort of maturity to say, hey, maybe I should buzz off the internet, and saying very inflammatory and very stupid things about the current president, given that you have the whole albatross of the legal proceedings coming in very shortly on your head. But then Destiny, again, is such a pompous, arrogant, unrepentant bastard, perverted, again, like dollar store quagmire from Family Guy. I mean, the guy's a complete reprehensible, loathsome person. He'll say certain things like this. It's very gross. Also, interesting point here. So Destiny has like this sort of like offline chat where he talks to some people in the inner circle or something like this. And so he'll say, Pixie and the people behind her just want money, so there's no point in going after the hacker. He's probably some broke loser anyway, so they aren't even mentioning him. So he's trying to obfuscate from him sending stuff to random people of interactions that he had filmed with women that are supposed to not have their stuff disseminated, right? So he again unconsensually shared sensitive imagery of them, which is very scummy. But then look at this here. He says, "Well, actually, the girl that's accusing me, Pixie, one of many actually, is just trying to sue me for money, which is ridiculous. But then actually it might be true. But again, SUFFA Destiny. And then secondly, he says, oh well, the hacker that I'm trying to like blame everything on, well, actually, he's a loser, so I'm not even going to bother trying to find out who the hacker is. So the way I read it is exactly that. And I mean, to that extent, if I'm Destiny, I'm going to find every single method of trying to ascertain who the hell this hacker is. Because if I got hacked and now I'm being accused of very nasty stuff, I would actually bother trying to do something about it. But instead, he doesn't, which implies that there might have not actually have been a hacker. Because if that's the case, then it would explain why Destiny doesn't want to look for the hacker because he knows there isn't one. We don't know yet. Now, this is a screenshot of the girl Rose that he was DMing the sensitive stuff about this girl, Pixie, again, 19-year-old girl that he's never even met in person up until this point. He just shares it. And it's very gross stuff, very gross stuff. I mean, you read some of this and it's very pernicious, okay? He says, there was a girl once, she was young, so she was kind of new and wasn't that good, and referring to like fellatio. But she would just hold on to me with the tongue and tongue the head, and it ended up feeling so good. And do you want the vid? And then Rose says, I'd love it, OMG. And then he sends the video. So, I mean, again, What the hell? And I mean, you're what, like 35, talking about like, oh, she was so young and I didn't. It's like, dude, come on, this is gross. And finally, Destiny says, bro, if I need to go on the offender registry or the offender list, I'm taking like 20 other streamers with me, okay, lol. Which again kind of just proves the point that you're guilty, saying like, oh, you're gonna get me? Okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna take down this streamer and this streamer and this streamer, which is one of two things. Either he's bluffing, in which case he's, I don't know, a scumbag, or two, he's a scumbag, plus he actually knows about actual offenses or other gross stuff that other streamers that are in positions of power and what they're doing, and he refuses to say it on the condition that those 20 streamers or whatever else do not talk against him. Okay, so this is the nastiness of the industry, and again, people make parallels to the P Diddy allegations and whatnot. And while this is like the dollar store version, it's still a version of it where again a guy's using his power to get laid, and in a way that is again kind of crossing boundaries of blackmail or violating consent and all this other nasty stuff. And then beside it all, by the way, you have Destiny overall not showing any modicum of remorse. And we're not surprised. The real Destiny haters like me, we're not surprised. The guy is like a complete secular, perverted, reprobate minded person. And so I'm vindicated. W me. Anyways, if you like the content, it's a deviation from the normal stuff. So, anyways, if you bear with me, comment down below any opinions you have. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want more content like this or want to see my face again. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Adios.